Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into sources that tackle a really essential topic: building a secure financial future. You know, building your nest egg.
Right, it's a journey, and often a really long one.
Exactly. And our sources today highlight two critical aspects. First, getting expert help to build that solid foundation.
And second, maybe the harder part for some, is just keeping that motivation going. Years, sometimes decades.
Yeah, that's staying power. So we've pulled together some, articles, some research that give guidance on both sides of that, understanding the value of a financial professional.
And exploring those practical, sort of evidence-based strategies to keep your saving motivation strong. Keep it from fizzling out over the long haul.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive is basically to cut through the noise, unpack these sources, and pull out the absolute core insights you need.
Like a shortcut to planning smarter, acting more effectively.
And staying inspired on your own financial path. Because let's be honest, navigating the financial world today, it's complex.
Oh, absolutely. All the different products, the strategies, just the sheer amount of information. It can feel overwhelming.
For anyone, really. And the sources make a strong case that this is exactly where professional guidance can be, well, incredibly valuable.
But they also stress that even with the best plan, the real work, that endurance part, that comes down to consistent personal motivation.
Okay, so let's unpack this first part. We'll start by looking at how a personal financial consultant can be that crucial ally, that guide in building your nest egg.
Right, so the source material defines a personal financial consultant.
Well,
It says terms like financial advisor or financial planner are often used pretty interchangeably.
okay.
But the core idea is a professional whose main goal is giving you expert advice and guidance that's tailored specifically to your financial objectives. It's holistic, looking at your whole financial life.
And holistic is such an important word there, isn't it? It's not just about picking stocks or something.
Exactly. The sources list several key roles they play, like really understanding your full financial picture first. Income, expenses, assets, debts.
And your goals. That seems crucial.
Super crucial. And based on that, they build a tailored financial plan. Could be for retirement, saving for college, buying a house, just building wealth generally.
Investment management is obviously a big piece, recommending and managing portfolios based on your risk tolerance and timeline.
Yeah, but also the protective side,
Right.
risk management.
Yeah.
Advising on insurance needs life insurance, disability, maybe long-term care. Things people sometimes forget.
Retirement planning comes up a lot in the sources too, calculating what you'll need.
And building strategies to get there, using things like 401k, IRAs in the US, or RRSPs and TFSAs up in Canada.
And here's something interesting. The sources highlight guidance on estate planning.
Right, which might not be top of mind for everyone. They clarify the consultant usually doesn't draft the legal docs, like wills or trusts.
You still need a lawyer for that.
You still need a lawyer,
Yeah.
But they help you understand why it's important and make sure your financial plan and your estate plan actually work together.
And tax efficiency too, helping with strategies.
They touch on that, advising on strategies, though often they'll collaborate with tax pros for the really detailed stuff.
Okay.
But there's this great analogy in the source material, seeing a good consultant as your financial quarterback.
Ah, I like that. Quarterback.
Yeah, coordinating all these different players and pieces of your financial life so they work together towards your specific goals.
That image makes a lot of sense. So thinking about someone listening, why might they need a financial quarterback? The sources give some compelling reasons.
Well, one big one is just the complexity. You mentioned it before. Products, rules, markets, it's a lot to keep track of.
Right. Who has the time, honestly, or the desire to become an expert in all of that while juggling everything else?
Exactly. A consultant brings that expertise and frankly saves you a huge amount of time and mental energy.
And then there's the emotional side. This is huge. Money decisions. They get emotional. Fear, greed, especially when markets get crazy.
Totally. The sources really highlight how a consultant provides that objective viewpoint, helps you avoid making costly mistakes driven by emotion.
Major life events, too. That's another trigger point they mentioned. Getting married, having kids.
Buying a home, changing careers, getting close to retirement, all these things really shake up your financial picture and often need professional guidance to navigate well.
And just getting clarity on your goals and having someone, well, keep you accountable.
Yeah, accountability is big. The sources mentioned that Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
That's a good one.
And they argue a consultant helps you really grab onto that now. They help you define the tree, figure out how to plant it, and provide the structure to actually start today. Makes it feel less overwhelming.
Right, overcomes that inertia. And ultimately, they help you optimize your resources, make sure your money is working efficiently, maximize savings, growth, tax advantages.
Exactly. Getting the most out of what you have.
So, digging into the specific services, beyond that comprehensive plan, they talk about dedicated investment management.
Yeah.
Building the portfolio, managing it, rebalancing.
All aligned with your goals and risk comfort level.
Yeah.
And retirement planning gets pretty detailed, analyzing your needs, looking at your current accounts, even developing withdrawal strategies for later on.
Education planning, too, for families. Setting up 529s or RESPs.
Yep. And that risk management piece again, making sure you got the right insurance coverage. And the estate planning coordination, linking it all together.
Okay, now this is critical. The sources spend a good amount of time on choosing the right professional. This is a big decision.
Absolutely. And they lay out key factors. Credentials are one starting point. You see letters like CFP, CHFC for comprehensive planning, CFA more for investment analysis.
Or CIM, PLF Fin in Canada. These signal they've met certain standards, education, experience, ethics.
Yeah, they're important indicators. But understanding how they get paid, this is absolutely critical, the sources stress.
Yeah.
Because it can introduce potential conflicts of interest.
Right. Let's break down those structures they mentioned.
Okay, first is fee only. They charge a fee, could be flat, hourly, or a percentage of the assets they manage for you, the AUM. They do not get commissions for selling products.
And the sources generally see this as having the fewest conflicts.
That's the general take, yes.
Yeah.
Then you have fee-based. They charge fees for advice, but they can also earn commissions if they sell you certain products.
Ah, okay, so there's a potential conflict there.
Potential, yeah. Recommendations could be influenced, even unintentionally, by which products pay higher commissions. They have to disclose it, but the potential's there.
And the third type.
Commission-based. Their entire income comes from commissions on products they sell. The advice might seem free, but the sources emphasize this model has the highest potential for conflict since recommendations are directly tied to sales.
So the sources really lean towards fee-only advisors, especially those who act as fiduciaries.
Strongly. And that term, fiduciary duty, is key. The sources say it's non-negotiable.
Explain that a bit more.
It's a legal and ethical standard. It means the advisor must always act in your absolute best interest. It's a higher bar to just recommending something suitable.
And not everyone is held to that standard.
No, not all financial professionals are fiduciaries. You absolutely have to ask potential advisors if they are a fiduciary, and the sources say get it in writing.
Get it in writing. Okay. What else besides fees and fiduciary status?
Experience and specialization matter. Do they often work with people like you? Same life stage, similar goals, maybe similar professions.
Makes sense. And the sources give a checklist of questions to ask, right?
Yeah, really helpful list. Ask about their specific qualifications, exactly how they're paid, if they're a fiduciary in writing, their investment philosophy, who their typical client is, the services they offer, how often they'll communicate, and can they provide references? Good questions to ask.
Definitely. So once you pick someone, what's the process usually like?
Typically, it starts with an initial meeting, maybe a discovery session. Then they do extensive data gathering, getting all your financial details.
Okay.
Then they analyze all that, develop a plan, present the plan to you, you discuss it, refine it. Then comes implementation, actually putting the strategies into action.
And it doesn't stop there, right?
Absolutely not. The most important part, arguably, is the ongoing monitoring and regular reviews. The sources stress this isn't a one-time thing.
Life changes, markets change.
Your goals might even shift. So regular check-ins are vital to keep your plan relevant and on track for building that nest egg.
It sounds like it really becomes a long-term relationship.
That's exactly how the sources frame it. They become a partner, helping you navigate life changes, providing discipline when markets get scary, and ultimately offering peace of mind.
Having that structure, that informed guide, it seems really valuable.
Invaluable for many people, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say you've got a great plan now. Maybe you're working with a fantastic consultant, but like we said earlier, building that nest egg, it's a marathon. Decades sometimes.
Right. And keeping that motivation up for the long haul, that can be incredibly challenging.
So now let's shift gears. Let's dive into that second big area the sources cover. The proven strategies for staying motivated to save long term.
Yeah, this is where that initial excitement can wear off, saving for something way off in the future, like retirement. It could start to feel abstract, maybe even a bit boring. The sources call it saving fatigue.
Saving fatigue, I like that. And they explain why consistent motivation is so crucial, right?
They do. It's the engine. It's the fuel that keeps you going, keeps you taking those consistent actions over years and years, long after the novelty wears off.
It's what helps you fight that urge for instant gratification, isn't it?
Yeah.
Spending now versus saving for later.
Exactly. Prioritizing your future self over your present desires. And gives you resilience.
Resilience, how so?
Well, life happens, right? Unexpected bills pop up, maybe a job setback. Motivation helps you see those as temporary bumps, not reasons to give up entirely. Helps you get back on track faster.
Okay.
And ultimately, the sources frame motivation as the key to real financial security and independence down the road. Having choices. It's what gives purpose to the sometimes mundane act of saving money regularly.
So, how do we actually do that? How do we cultivate this motivation? The sources outline several really practical strategies. Let's start with strategy 1. Set crystal clear, specific, and deeply meaningful goals. Using that SMART framework.
Yeah, the sources really hammer this. Vague goals like save more money just don't work well. They're hard to get excited about, hard to track. SMART goals make them real.
So SMART, specific.
Specific. What exactly are you saving for? Why does it matter? Like, save $50,000 for a house down payment in 5 years to provide stability for my family. Measurable. Quantify it. How much? By when? Achievable. Is it realistic? Maybe you need to start smaller, that's okay. Relevant. Does this truly align with your core values? Security, freedom, family. And time-bound. Give it a deadline, a specific date or year.
And they say write them down, keep them visible.
Absolutely. Put them on the fridge, your desk, make it your phone wallpaper. That constant visual reminder keeps it top of mind, primes your brain.
Okay, strategy 2. Powerfully visualize your success. Embody the outcome. This isn't just wishful thinking.
No, not at all. The sources describe it as actively engaging your mind, making that future goal feel more real and exciting right now.
Like making a vision board with pictures and quotes representing the goal achieved.
Exactly. Or using goal tracking apps with those satisfying progress bars. Seeing the visual progress helps. And daily mental rehearsal.
Mental rehearsal.
Yeah, taking just a minute to close your eyes and really feel the emotions of having already achieved that goal. What does it feel like? The sources even suggest writing a future self letter.
Writing to yourself.
From your future self back to your present self. Describing what life is like having achieved the goal. It makes it feel much more tangible, more possible.
Interesting. Okay, strategy 3. Break down mammoth goals into achievable milestones. This sounds key for those really long-term goals.
It totally addresses that it's too far away feeling. The sources call it chunking it down.
Chunking it down.
Instead of focusing on, say, saving $1 million for retirement, which feels huge, focus on hitting your first $10,000 saved. Or if you're saving $20,000 for a car, break it into milestones. Hitting 1K, then 5K, then 10Ks. Bite-sized steps.
And then celebrate those milestones.
Yes. Crucially, celebrate them. Doesn't have to be extravagant. An affordable treat. Time for a hobby. Just acknowledging the progress. That positive reinforcement is super motivating, and focusing just on the next milestone makes the whole thing feel less overwhelming.
Strategy 4. Automate your savings. The sources call this a powerhouse, the set it and forget it strategy.
It really is powerful for building consistency. It bypasses procrastination, willpower fatigue, all of that.
The classic pay yourself first. Set up automatic transfers right after payday.
Exactly. Move the money to savings or investments before you even see it, before you can spend it. And leveraging employer plans like 401ks where it comes right out of your paycheck. That's huge, especially if there's an employer match.
Right. That's literally free money. Don't leave that on the table.
Never leave free money on the table. And for investing, using dollar cost averaging, DCA, automatically investing fixed amounts regularly, that's another win for automation. Builds consistency, takes emotion out of market timing. Automation just removes that daily need for willpower.
Okay, strategy 5. Track your progress consistently. But, they say, not obsessively.
Right, finding that balance. Schedule regular check-ins. Maybe weekly for short-term goals, monthly or quarterly for long-term investments is usually plenty. Don't watch the stock market daily, that'll drive you crazy. Use spreadsheets, apps, whatever works for you.
And the key is focusing on how far you've come.
Yes. Look back at the progress you've made, not just the huge distance still ahead. This helps you see compounding in action too. Early growth seems slow, but tracking helps you see how it accelerates over time. Patience is key.
Tracking also helps you adjust, right? If life changes or you're off track.
Exactly. It gives you the data you need to make informed adjustments to your plan.
Strategy 6. Cultivate accountability and build a supportive network. Don't go it alone.
Yeah, saving can feel isolating sometimes. Share your goals, but selectively, with trusted friends or partners who will actually be supportive.
Find a savings buddy, someone on a similar path.
That can work great. Check in with each other. Or join online communities, forums dedicated to saving and finance. You can get tips, inspiration, feel less alone.
Maybe even a financial coach or mentor for more structure.
That's an option too. The sources suggest that just sharing your goal with even one other person adds a layer of commitment that helps keep you on track.
Makes sense. Strategy 7. Reward yourself strategically and mindfully. This acknowledges it can't be all sacrifice.
Right, the journey needs some enjoyment. Plan small, budget-conscious rewards when you hit those milestones we talked about.
Small rewards, like
Maybe a favorite meal out that fits the budget, time dedicated to a hobby, buying a book you've wanted. The key is making sure the reward doesn't undo the progress you just made.
right, don't celebrate saving $1,000 by spending $500.
Exactly. Experiences often give more lasting satisfaction than stuff anyway, and can be cheaper. Budget for these rewards and your fun money. Don't pull from core savings. And remember the intrinsic reward, just feeling good about achieving something. Avoid reward inflation, too. Keep them proportional.
Okay, strategy 8. Deeply connect savings to core values and future vision. This sounds like the bedrock.
The sources really emphasize this as the most sustainable source of motivation. Constantly revisit your why.
Your why.
What really matters to you deep down? Security, freedom, family, helping others. Then visualize what that security or freedom actually looks like and feels like in your daily life because you saved. Make it tangible.
So it's not just numbers on a spreadsheet.
No, it's about the life those numbers enable. Create affirmations, linking saving to values. I save today for my family's security tomorrow. Aligning your spending with your values also helps. Saving feels less like deprivation then, more like making intentional choices. That deep connection is the real fuel.
And finally, strategy 9. Cultivate a positive, resilient, and flexible mindset. Because things won't always go perfectly.
Absolutely. The sources are clear.
Yeah.
Expect setbacks. They're part of the journey, not a sign of failure. The key is just getting back on track quickly.
Practice self-compassion. Don't beat yourself up.
Yes, avoid that negative self-talk after a mistake. And be adaptable. Life changes, so your plan might need to change too. Rigidity kills motivation. Focus on what you can control. Your spending, your saving rate, efforts to earn more, your commitment.
Celebrate progress, not perfection.
Exactly. Every single step forward, no matter how small, is a win. Acknowledge it. And surround yourself with positivity, inspiring books, podcasts, supportive people. That positive, resilient mindset is a powerful tool for the long haul.
You know, the sources also briefly mention common challenges that kill motivation, like the goal feeling too abstract or far away.
Or not seeing progress fast enough, feeling deprived, dealing with unexpected expenses, or comparing yourself negatively to others.
And you can really see how the strategies we just walked through directly tackle those.
Right. Milestones help when the goal feels distant. Tracking progress, especially focusing on how far you've come and understanding compounding, helps when progress feels slow.
Budgeting for rewards and connecting to your why helps fight deprivation.
Having an emergency fund helps buffer unexpected expenses. And focusing on your own path and values, maybe with that savings buddy, helps combat comparing yourself to others.
So pulling this all together from our deep dive today, it really seems clear. Building your financial nest egg, it's significantly boosted by getting professional guidance. That financial quarterback idea.
Yeah, someone bringing clarity, expertise, coordinating your overall plan. But just as importantly, sustaining the effort over all those years, that's not just luck.
It requires conscious effort.
Exactly. The sources show that long-term saving motivation is actually a dynamic skill, something you can actively cultivate using these practical strategies we talked about.
Making goals clear, automating tracking, connecting to your values, building resilience.
It's really a two-pronged approach, isn't it? Getting the right plan and guidance, and then equipping yourself with the tools to maintain the personal drive to actually stick with it.
It's about more than just watching the numbers go up. It's about actively, consciously, consistently building the future you really want, one step at a time.
Well said. That's the essence of it.
So here's a final thought to consider, based on the sources. If sustained motivation isn't just a feeling you wait for, but a skill you build. Thinking about your own financial journey right now, which one of these strategies feels most actionable, most doable for you to start cultivating today? Which one could help move you closer to your financial goals starting now?